Hey everybody, so I want to come on here and do a breastfeeding update for you. It's more like a final breastfeeding update. There has been some recent discovery and closure in my breastfeeding struggles, and I really want to talk to you girls about it. And the reason why I haven't talked about this in my past update, which I actually just did a couple days ago, is because I wanted to know for sure before talking about it. I wanted to get a confirmed diagnosis. But basically there is a condition out there that is not very well known. It's called IGT, which stands for insufficient glandular tissue, which basically inhibits a lot of women from successfully exclusively breastfeeding their children. And my friend Amanda on Facebook and on YouTube brought this condition to my attention because she actually suffers from it herself. And not only does she suffer from IGT, but she has a condition called breast hypoplasia as well. I don't suffer from breast hypoplasia, but I do have every single symptom of IGT. And I could have self-diagnosed myself and just kind of moved on with life, but I wanted to speak with my lactation consultant, and I wanted to, know for sure before doing so. But basically, IGT is, as it says, insufficient glandular tissue. You don't have enough glands to produce the amount of milk needed to successfully breastfeed your child. And this can start all the way back in puberty, with a lack of progesterone levels in your body to produce the glands needed. As you go through puberty, you should produce those glands, and then they should increase with pregnancy. I didn't think anything of it back when I was a teenager and going through puberty, because what teenager thinks about breastfeeding nobody does. And my breasts have always been the same size. They reached like a peak, and they've never changed, not once since then. And, again, I didn't think anything of it then, or, until a week ago, because I didn't even know this condition existed. But basically, with puberty, your body's supposed to produce the progesterone, and it's supposed to, grow your glands, and then when you become pregnant, your body's supposed to produce more progesterone, which is supposed to produce more milk glands, or grow your milk glands, especially in the first 8 to 12 weeks of pregnancy is when they're the most active and the most growing. But, they do grow throughout your entire pregnancy. But as most of you know, if you've seen my videos long time ago, gosh, when I first started doing YouTube videos, was when I had suffered my first and second miscarriage. But basically, I had to take progesterone supplements in order to conceive and to have a successful take-home baby. Which speaks volumes to me now, because, now that I know the symptoms of IGT, that is huge. Because even taking progesterone supplements, my breasts still did not change. I still never got the adequate milk glands needed to successfully breastfeed. And also, symptoms of IGT too are, once your child is born, you never get the adequate amount of milk. You never get engorged. No matter what you do, you never produce enough to successfully breastfeed. I don't know why I can't say that word. But after knowing this, I want to say thank you so much to Amanda, because you really changed my whole outlook on everything. I really, for a while there, was, I know I tried not to. I tried to look on the positive side, that I was a good mother, and, I was doing everything that I needed to do to, for my child to be healthy, but I felt like a failure. I really did. I really, wanted nothing more than to be able to breastfeed my child. And sorry, I got interrupted. I had to, little Miss Terry here woke up, so I had to stop the video, and now hopefully I can finish up where I left off. But think the last thing I was talking about was the fact that I really did feel like a failure for not being able to breastfeed my child. I I tried everything that was ever suggested to me, you know, and it just didn't work for me. Obviously, now I know why. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a little sidetracked. But basically, yeah, now that I know that I have IGT, I feel like 1,000 pounds have been lifted off my shoulders, and it has really helped me move on and know that it's not me that's, you know, it's not something I was doing to cause, you know, the problems that I was having. It was something that I was born with, and something that, you know, is just incurable, and something that I will probably, you know, suffer with, you know, with my next pregnancy. But there is always the chance that, you know, with my next pregnancy, you know, my body could produce more progesterone than actually needed, and I could I could produce the milk glands needed to breastfeed. Oh, sorry. Hi. Did you wake up? She woke up. Sorry. Might have to end this video a little bit shorter than planned. What was I talking about? But yeah, hopefully my body next go around will produce more progesterone needed, and I'll be able to successfully, you know, at least breastfeed more than I was able to this time. I know that in my last updates I was telling you that I'm exclusively pumping. Oh, big yawn. Heaven's sakes. Oh, where's your binky? That I was successfully exclusively pumping. But now that I know that there's nothing that I can do to change my supply, nothing, no matter, you know, how many supplements I'm taking, no matter, you know, how many times a day that I pump, my supply is not changing. I am going to slowly decrease my amount of pumping, and I'm going to allow myself to dry up, and I'm going to exclusively give Little Miss Tara here formula. And that was a decision that I finally had to come to for my own sanity. Especially, like I said, now that I know that I have this condition, there's no reason for me to stress out every single time I have to pump, and every single time I see how much I'm actually getting, and how much, you know, thinking about how much I should be getting, and so on and so forth. The stress is making me more, just making me more anxious every single day. And it's just not good for, it's not good for me. It's not good for her. It's not good, you know, for anybody in my life, because it's making me, you know, it's just making me not a nice person to be around. And I don't want that. I want to be able to be the best mom that I can be at any given point, sleep deprived or not. And I think that, you know, not pumping and, you know, just giving her formula, she's still getting what she needs. She's still getting the nutrients that she needs. That is going to just be, it's going to be our saving grace around here. Ooh, you are just a wiggle worm now that you woke up, aren't you? Goodness gracious, what was I just saying? It's going to be our saving grace around here, and I want to be able to be the best mom that I can be, no matter what that means. And a lot of you girls have already told me this in your, you know, amazing comments and things on my prior breastfeeding updates. But yeah, that is my decision, is to slowly decrease my pumping and allow myself to dry up, and just give her formula, and, you know, allow the stress factor to go away. But that is pretty much all I have to say about IGT right now. I am very sad that, you know, I wasn't able to breastfeed. I honestly think that, you know, that'll always be something that is sad to me, but at least now I know why. And also, ooh, hold on, sorry. Ooh, at least now I know why, and I can move on with my life. And I hope this video is able to, you know, to help some women out there that are having breastfeeding struggling issues, and, you know, they don't know why. And, you know, if they go to look for a reason, that they can find my video. They can find my video, and they will be able to get some sort of, you know, closure from my experiences and from Amanda's experiences. And also, I do want to touch a little bit, while she's kind of content at the moment, that, you know, some women get just absolutely harassed by, you know, not being able to breastfeed their children, and they have to give them formula, and people give them their horrible, you know, rude comments without knowing their backstory. And, whoa, I have a hair that's crazy out of place here. And they give them their horrible, rude comments without knowing their backstory. And it's absolutely heartbreaking. So, you know, breastfeeding is not for everybody, and there's always a reason, whether it is, you know, a medical condition like what I have, or if they don't want to breastfeed their children. You know, there's a reason for it, and people just need to keep their opinions to themselves, and let them raise their children the way that they see fit, because formula isn't going to kill their children. That's why they make it. They make it for mothers who can't breastfeed, who don't want to breastfeed, or whatever. And their children are still going to grow up and be just as successful as a child that was exclusively breastfed. You know, not saying that, you know, I'm better than anybody else. That's not what I mean. You know, or whatever. Breast milk is obviously the best, and if I could give it, you know, and if every woman could give it, they probably would. But some women can't, and even if you don't want to, that's your personal decision. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video now, because she's getting fussy and I'm losing my train of thought, and I don't want to blab on forever and ever. So I hope this helps out some of women out there, and thank you, Amanda, again so much for bringing IGT to, you know, bringing it up, because I had no idea that it existed, and you've really helped me in so many ways. So yeah, that is it for now, and I will talk to everybody later.